What's poppin'? My name is Duckhead, and today we're gonna do the Battlefield survey that's been going around on Reddit, right? So I've already answered like a few of these questions, but I'm just gonna get to the more pressing questions and give my reasons and details as to why I choose to answer these questions. So, do you plan to buy the next Battlefield title? I only picked yes because I do YouTube. If I did not do YouTube, I would wait for reviews. I'd wait for reviews, right? Because I plan on reviewing this game, like the vehicle play, the atmosphere, the tone of the game. I plan on reviewing it, and I plan on putting that video out there for people who may be apprehensive to buy the next Battlefield title. But if I did not do YouTube, I wouldn't fucking play this next Battlefield title until I saw reviews. But since I do YouTube, I chose yes. What platform do you plan to play the next Battlefield title? PlayStation 5. Been a PlayStation gamer my entire life. What Battlefield title was your introduction to the Battlefield franchise? Battlefield 3, and I believe that is the greatest Battlefield game of all time, right? And I don't really think it's close. Maybe it's a little close between Battlefield 3 and my personal next favorite 4, and then one after that, because I didn't play any Battlefield before Battlefield 3, but yeah, my introduction to the franchise was Battlefield 3, and my favorite Battlefield was Battlefield 3. How many players do you want to see per squad in the next Battlefield title? 4. I don't understand why I would pick 5, 6, or more than 6, because 64 is not divisible by 5, and 64 is not divisible by 6. So I don't understand why anyone would pick any other number. The only reason there should maybe be more than 4 people in the squad is if you have more than 4 people in your party. But even then, I would say if you matchmake to a game, if you have, like, say 9 people in your, well, let's say 7 people in your squad, right, in your party, 4 people are going to be in one squad, and it's going to make another one with 3 people, right? That's how I think it should go. I don't think you should have more than 4 people in the squad. It's going to make squad wipes incredibly fucking difficult. How important is voice chat when communicating to players in a shooter game? It's very important. We need proximity chat, actually. We need that shit. It's so crazy. Like, when you get into a vehicle with a random player, you can't hear them. You can't hear them, and I don't think you can see their pings in any Battlefield game unless they're in your squad. And that needs to change, right? Just make a system like Hell Let Loose. Hell Let Loose has a great, amazing fucking voice chat system. That's how the next Battlefield should have voice chat. Would you like to have a server browser in the next Battlefield title? Yes. Yes, across all game modes. And the reason I say yes is, if I say no and there is no server browser, guess what can happen? Skill-based matchmaking. In fact, that is a big concern of mine for the next Battlefield, because there is literally no reason for them not to do a server browser. Literally no reason, because Battlefield 5 had quick play and it had a server browser. Battlefield 1 had quick play and a server browser. The only reason I see them not doing a server browser is if they want to control your matchmaking. And what will they want to implement if they control your matchmaking? You guessed it. Skill-based fucking matchmaking and engagement-optimized matchmaking. I really don't want to see that shit in the next Battlefield game. So yes, server, please, for the love of God. Do you find signature weapons or signature traits a perfect way to balance and unlock weapon system to certain classes? So the only reason I said maybe is because I haven't played Battlefield 6, and apparently that's how they're doing the class system. Me personally, I want class lock weapons, but if I can't have class lock weapons, maybe DICE is cooking up something special. Maybe they're gonna be masterful at balancing, but I don't fucking know, right? 2042 didn't exactly have the best balancing in that fucking game. How would you like to see cosmetics and aesthetics in a Battlefield title? Military themed skins only, or customized military themed skins, but a safe bet would be military themed skins only, right? Please, no cartoonish skins. None of that. None of that shit, bro. None of that. Do not fucking please. Oh my God, DICE and EA, if they put cartoon skins in the next Battlefield to where I'm looking at Fortnite, I'm gonna find somebody, and it's not gonna be pretty. I'm gonna find Vince Zampella, all right, and I'm gonna find him, and it's not gonna be pretty, all right. I'm gonna find that nigga. Let me calm down. Do you want to see different ethnic character skins in the next Battlefield title? Yes. Do you want to see different genders in the next Battlefield title? Doesn't matter either way for me. Just make it serious. Battlefield 1 had women in their World War One game, and you didn't even notice them because they fit so perfectly into the theme of the game, and they in their implementation told a story, right? As long as they do that with Battlefield 6, I see no reason as to why women can't be in the game, right? Just make it serious. That's all you have to do. The reason Battlefield 5 wasn't liked is because it wasn't serious. Hello, old friend, hook arm, fucking long red hair, bullshit, right? Just make it serious. Make them look like goddamn soldiers. How should the weapon class system work in the next Battlefield title? Locked weapons to specific classes. I'm gonna make a whole entire video on this, but just lock the weapons. Wanna know why? Your entire community is screaming at you to lock the fucking weapons. So if your entire community is telling you to fucking do something, just go and do it, alright? Every other successful Battlefield game has had locked weapons. Why change that now? Why? Alright? Should a support class be able to provide both health/revive and ammo/resupply? I think you should split the support to two different classes. Why? Because every other successful Battlefield game has had assault that heals motherfuckers and support that resupplies motherfuckers. Why should we change it now? Just do what has always worked and maybe build upon it. But me personally, split the support class to two different classes. Alright? That's what I want to see. Should the support class be able to have two primary weapons? Fuck no. I don't think any class should be able to have two primary weapons. That's just me. Or you're gonna see a lot of sniper rifles with assault rifles, and that's a full coverage fucking class. You're literally great in all scenarios. Assault rifles, the only thing they struggle at, barely by the way, is long range. If you're able to equip a assault rifle and a sniper rifle in the same class at the same time, that's terrible for balance in my opinion, because you're a full coverage fucking soldier. I don't like that. Should the next Battlefield title have player abilities to slide around corners? Me personally, Battlefield 5 had a slide. I'm fine with a slide. I don't care. It's fine. Battlefield 5 had a slide, and I think that Battlefield had the best movement in the series. I think it did. Battlefield 5 movement was pretty damn good, and it had a slide. It wasn't too crazy. It wasn't too oppressive, but I believe you should have a slide. Now, slide around corners, as long as it's like the Battlefield 5 slide, I'm good, right? Would you want a toggle to turn on or off online players' cosmetic skins for uniforms / weapons / vehicles for the next Battlefield title? If they're putting bullshit skins in the game, unicorn fucking farting out pixie dust, then yes. But if they're just doing military themed skins only, then no. I'll say maybe. Depends on what kind of direction they're going to take these skins in. Do you want to see a fortification system in the next Battlefield title? I mean, maybe. I liked it in Battlefield 5. It was fine in Battlefield 5. Whatever. It's fine. It just gives a little bit of depth to the game. So I'd say maybe. Maybe. If it's not in there, I mean, it's not going to kill me. But if it is in there, great. It gives depth to the game. Do you want to see infantry resupply stations in the next Battlefield title? Let's see here. I will say yes, but it only automatically shows up upon objective capture, right? That's fine. That's fine with me. Because I understand sometimes it's hard to find a support player. Maybe, maybe you can't find a support player. You need a fucking ammo resupply station. That's fine, whatever. How would you like to see a vehicle resupply its ammo? Vehicles retreat and find a resupply station? Fuck no. Hell no, because that's going to cause camping. I don't want to see that. Battlefield 5 had that issue where motherfuckers just want to stay around resupply stations, just stay back far from the action. I want vehicles to be able to push up on the action without having to worry about reloading. Vehicles retreat to team base? Fuck no, bro. This is some hell let loose bullshit. No. Limit the amount of primary weapon ammo? I would say no. Just have primary weapon ammo on a cooldown like Battlefield 4, right? Battlefield 4, I think that weapon was the best. That weapon system was the best system. And then it says don't limit vehicle ammo, makes vehicles too vulnerable. Me personally, really, if I had my perfect Battlefield game, it would have the Battlefield 3 system where you had unlimited ammo, but that was probably a little too strong. So we'll say the Battlefield 4 system of having primary weapon ammo on a cooldown. Which vehicle do you prefer to use in a Battlefield title? Tank. I'm the best at tanking. How do you prefer to play in a Battlefield title? Both vehicles and infantry. I like everything, right? Jets, helicopters, I really like helicopters. Tanks, jeeps, everything. Infantry, everything. Wherever I'm needed, basically. Usually it's in the tank because that's what I'm best at, but if I can't do that, wherever I'm needed. How important is flight movement when flying a jet in a Battlefield title? Very fucking important. We need the Battlefield 4 flight model. It just is what it is. We need the Battlefield 4 flight model for jets. If we get that, we're chilling. If we don't get that and we get like a system like 2042, I'm worried. All right, I'm worried. How important is flight movement when flying a helicopter in the Battlefield title? Very important. Same thing. We need the Battlefield 4 flight model for all flying vehicles. All flying vehicles. All right. How important is vehicle movement when driving a tank in the Battlefield title? Very important. We need the Battlefield 4 movement system for fucking tanks. Tanks felt really good in that game at the end. Very, very solid. Oh, God, don't give us the Battlefield 5 movement system where you move at a snail's pace. And don't give us the Battlefield 2042 system where you slip and slid all over the fucking ground like you were fucking fighting on Diddy's baby oil. Very important. Vehicle movement is very fucking important. Alright. Would you like to see squad stakes, LOL stakes, they mean streaks, return in the next Battlefield title? Yes. Battlefield 5's squad calling system was great, but it should only be limited to the squad leader. And also Battlefield 4 had squad streaks as well. They had kind of trees that you can go like squad trees, specialization trees that you can have. I think that should return. I like that. Would you like to have a commander mode in the Battlefield title? Yes, that's fine. That's fine. Commander mode is fine. Just adds more depth. But I don't want it to be just you're up in the air all game. You can't be on the ground. I think you should be on the ground as a soldier. Just kind of like Hell Let Loose. How would you prefer to play commander mode in a Battlefield title? Let's see. In-game, only in-game, smartphone, tablet, and an in-game. I'd say smartphone, tablet, and in-game. Actually, in-game and only in-game. The commander should be a physical soldier on the battlefield. Now, if he has to stay back a little bit so he doesn't get fucking destroyed, fine. But he should be in the battle, actually in the battle. I'd prefer that. But just balance it. Don't make it to where you can just destroy people and kill everybody. You should balance that very well, right? How would you prefer a commander to be played on the battlefield? In-game player on the battlefield as a calling device. In-game player at the team base only. No. Options 1 and 2. Top-down view from a sky via in-game or mobile app. I would say in-game player on the battlefield as a calling device. So basically you spawn into the commander role. Similar to Battlefield 4. You spawn into the commander role, but you're on the battlefield, right? You're actually on the battlefield. That's what I prefer. And make it, like I said, make it difficult. That should be a difficult role to play. That should not be an easy role to play. What game mode do you like the most in a Battlefield title? I like Operations. Where's Operations? I like Operations the best. Battlefield 1 Operations, in my opinion, is a peak Battlefield experience. Peak! With the storytelling, like the voices before the battle. Peak. Fighting across multiple maps in a campaign. Absolutely peak. And second, I would say, sorry for this loud ass fucking piece of shit, dirty ass motorcycle outside. And for second, I would say Rush. I like the most Rush, right? Battlefield 3 Rush was fucking peak. And then after that, Conquest, right? Would you like to see a platoon leader as a role in a Battlefield title? Nah, I think just commander and squad leader is fine. Just commander and squad leader. I don't think you don't need to. You're kind of complicating things if you have platoon fucking leaders. Just commander and squad leader is fine. How do you prefer to be killed by a knife in a shooter game? I would say, so knife from behind the back only, throwing knives only, knife behind and throwing knives, knife behind, counter knife from the front and throwing knives, knife behind and counter knives from front only. I would say knife from behind the back only. I don't want throwing knives in the game, right? I don't like that in the Battlefield title. It's stupid, in my opinion. That needs to stay in Call of Duty. And also, I don't like the counter knife mechanic. I don't think you should be able to stab people from the front. You should just be able to take them down from the back. Pause. Would you like to have an official Battlefield app to check player stats, messages, EA friends, join servers, add friends, create a platoon, etc.? Yes, I miss Battlelog. I miss Battlelog so much, bro. I used to see you can literally see your stacks and how you stack up against people in your same city, how you stack up against people in your state, how you stack up against people in your country. We need that back. We need that shit back, brother. Do you enjoy taking dog tags from other players from previous Battlefield titles? Yes, I do. Even though I didn't do it that much, I do enjoy that. Would you like to see customized players as platoon emblems in game? Yes. Yes. Let's see. Preset emblems only? No. Let people be creative. Yes. Customize and preset emblems via website and in game? I'd say yes. But just be careful. You're gonna have some crazy shit like Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1. Remember those fucking platoon, those emblems? Those emblems were fucking crazy. And they said, we ain't doing this shit anymore. So you probably have to police it, because I understand you're gonna offend a lot of people if motherfuckers are putting KKK outfits and Nazi symbols and fucking emblems or whatever. Me personally, that stuff doesn't bother me. I don't give a fuck because it doesn't fucking hurt me. But I understand that other people don't want to see that, so you probably have to police it. Would you buy the next Battlefield title if the weapons are unlocked to all classes? Yes, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I prefer to have locked weapons though. If I can have it my way, I would prefer to have locked weapons. But if they aren't locked, that isn't the end of the world for me. Me personally, as long as the game has a good tone, it's a serious tone, not cartoon Fortnite bullshit like Call of Duty. As long as the maps are really good, as long as we get really good post-launch content, as long as they continue supporting the game, even if the Battle Royale is successful, as long as the vehicle mechanics are great, as long as they don't make foolish, nonsensical changes like in Battlefield 5 when they kept fucking with the gunplay, as long as they do that, I don't give a shit if weapons are fucking universal, right? So it doesn't really matter to me. But personally, I want locked weapons because every successful Battlefield has had locked weapons. Do you prefer to have a campaign in every Battlefield title? Yes. Yes. And let me see if my answer's on here. So I won't say no. Yes, I love playing shooter campaigns. Yes, I need to break away from playing online. Yes, I prefer to play offline shooter games only. I'll just pick this one because whatever. But the reason I think Battlefield needs a campaign is because it gives the game a tone and it gives the game like a narrative to base like their shit around, right? So in previous Battlefields, we've had maps inspired from campaign missions. Like, for example, that tank mission on Battlefield 3. I'm pretty sure Operation Firestorm was inspired from that. Grand Bazaar and Operation Metro, whichever map, it was inspired from that like sniper mission in the Spec Ops, like the Spec Ops co-op, where you can play the mission with other people. In Battlefield 3, I believe Operation Metro and Grand Bazaar, they were inspired from that mission. So like, I believe that you need a narrative campaign to build your game around, so you can have locations that have a narrative behind them, and you get a lot of multiplayer maps from those locations, and you're not just, you know, making a map here and there with no story behind it. I think that's important. Should a Battlefield campaign be sold separately? Fuck no. Hell no, man. Hell no. Should the next Battlefield title be fully printed on disc? Yes. Let's see, campaign and parts of online multiplayer, campaign and campaign and all of online multiplayer, all of it. Do you support video game preservation? I actually don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's is it like when the devs continue to support the game even after the other game is released, like the next game is released? If that's the case, then yes, I do. If that's the case, right? If that's the case. But if it's not, then I don't know what the fuck that is. How should the next Battlefield title be sold? Obviously, both physical and digital, both digital and physical disc. Should Battlefield developers remaster previous Battlefield titles? Maybe. And I only say maybe if you 1-to-1 remaster. None of your fucking bullshit where you want to go back and change this class to be gender neutral, or you want to go back and put fucking skins in the fucking game. Just a 1-to-1 remaster and I'm fine with it. Anything else? Fuck no. How would you like the overall direction of the Battlefield series to go? Return to the Battlefield roots, obviously. Return to the Battlefield roots. Focus on Battlefield elements. Avoid trends from other games. Options 1, 2, and 3. If I'm being real. The last time Battlefield did not trend chase, Battlefield 1, I don't know, was the most successful Battlefield of all time. Outsold Call of Duty that year head to head with Infinite Warfare. I don't know. Alright. How do you prefer a campaign to last from beginning to end of story? I mean, I don't really care either way. I don't really play campaigns. I do think they're important, but I still don't play them. Not really. Let's say fucking 10 to 12 hours. I don't fucking know. Do you think Battlefield Labs on Discord is the perfect place to gather feedback for future Battlefield titles? I wish they had a maybe option. It depends on who you have in the Discord. If you have a bunch of fucking people who have never played Battlefield or who are predominant Call of Duty players, then fuck no. But if you have Battlefield veterans, right? Maybe mixed in with people who are new, then yes. Do you think the Battlefield developers have control over the entire direction of a Battlefield title? No. Publisher has more control. Publisher has way more control. Publisher, right? EA, what EA says goes. And that doesn't mean DICE is off the hook exactly, but EA has the most control. What they say fucking goes. When do you want the next Battlefield title to release? I would say fall of 2025. Fall of 2025 is fine. I mean, they've had 4 years of work on this shit, so fall of 2025, and that's when they usually release Battlefield titles. So fall of 2025 is fine. If they need to delay it, fine. But me personally, I want to see fall of 2025. When do you think is the best time to release a beta for the next Battlefield title? When bugs and core concepts completed. With little bugs and core concepts completed, little to no bugs and all core concepts completed, when alpha build is at a good state. Now wait for the full game to release. I would say when alpha build is at a good state, because that is the pinnacle of when you need to gather feedback. Because if you wait for the beta, usually betas are like 2 months before release, or even weeks before release. You don't want that. You want to actually have time to gather feedback and fix shit. So when the alpha build is at a good state, that's when I believe a beta should be launched. Would Grand Theft Auto 6 matter to you when the next Battlefield title should be released? Yes, I'm still gonna buy it. I'm still gonna fucking buy it. Let's see what. No, maybe will affect my buying purchase. Will wait until Battlefield's release. Will not affect my buying purchase. It won't affect it. I'm still buying Battlefield, Grand Theft Auto 6. How do you prefer to spend your time in an online multiplayer shooter? Unlocking weapons, I like that. Unlocking attachments, I like that too. Unlocking achievements, I love that. Unlocking skins, I love that. Let's say all of the above. All of the above is fine. How many video games do you purchase per year? Probably like 4 to 5. 3 to 4 maybe. Do you consider yourself a Battlefield fan? Yes, I am a Battlefield fan. Big Battlefield fan. Would you like to see another survey in the future? Yes. We need to send this shit to the devs too. How satisfied are you with this survey? Very satisfied. It was a great survey. Okay, I'm not doing all that. Alright, so yeah. That was my survey. I've already seen other videos going into the statistics of this survey. If you want to see that, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm not going to get into that in this video. Anyway, I'm out this bitch. I'll link this survey in the description down below. Make sure you go check it out. Your feedback is welcome. Maybe they're going to send it to the devs and maybe it'll influence some of their game design philosophies. I don't know. Anyway, I'm out this bitch. Y'all have a good one. Bye! Go on. Hit that like button. I'll beat your ass. Bye.